it's Beth. I am the Fitness Princess, and today I just want to share a little bit about my story and my journey with polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is September, and that means it is PCOS Awareness Month. I am sharing all month long just to bring awareness to PCOS and help educate and hopefully help you become an advocate for your own health if you are struggling with PCOS. So, what's my story? Well, when I was 9 or 10 years old, I had my first period. I hadn't even had the talk yet. Like in fourth grade, my whole class was set down by our school nurse, and we talked about periods and what that meant and everything that came with it. We hadn't even had that talk yet. I wasn't supposed to have my period yet, and I did. But it came once, and then it left, and I didn't have it for several more years. When I was 10 or 11, my cousin had an appendectomy, and I had some pain in my right lower abdomen. And so we did the whole push on it, see if it hurts when it's released type of deal. Maybe secretly I wanted to have appendicitis. I don't know. But I had that pain. I did not have appendicitis, and my mom chalked it up to growing pains. So when I was 15 years old, I had my period very rarely. It came and went. I didn't know when it was going to come. I had to be prepared at all times with feminine products and with a change of clothes, because when it came, it came. And I remember a lot of times getting up in the morning and having to either change my sheets, change my clothes, take a shower, whatever. It came. There was no rhyme or reason to it. And that is super embarrassing. That's part of the story that nobody really tells you. And that was my life. So when I was 15, my mom finally took me to her OBGYN, and I was tested. I had some family history. We thought that maybe I had PCOS, but of course I wasn't diagnosed yet. So that's what we went for. I personally had a blood test done to check for the androgens in my body, as well as my insulin levels and my sugar levels. And then I also had an ultrasound done, and it was shown that I had polycystic ovaries, both on my right side and on my left side. I have a lot more on my right side than I do my left side. And looking back, we can now kind of guess that I probably was having trouble when I was 10 years old and I had that pain. But we didn't know for sure, and we didn't know what to look for at that point in time. So we can only look back. Hindsight is always 20/20. But we can't do anything about that now, so we can only move forward. So at 15, I was freshman or sophomore in high school. I think I was a sophomore. And at that time, I thought it was a reproductive issue. I thought, okay, I'm not going to be able to have kids, or I may not be able to have kids. At 15 years old, I didn't really care about kids. I cared about cheerleading, and I cared about boys, and I cared about other things other than having a family. So I didn't really tell anybody. I don't know who my parents told, but now that I am out in the public with it, I'm sure that all of my family knows, or if they don't care to know. It was a very private thing for me for the longest time. I only came public with my story about 2 or 3 years ago, because I didn't, I guess I felt alone. I thought that I was the only one dealing with this. I thought it was a reproductive issue. I thought it had to do with the planning of my family for the future. And that's not something that is anybody's business. And so I didn't share. I shared with people who needed to know. My best friend knew, and and my mom and dad knew, and maybe some select family members. And that was about it. But when social media, when Instagram became really popular, I actually joined Instagram in 2010 while I was planning my wedding. And it was in that time that I found other women who were struggling with PCOS. And I realized I'm not alone. There are other women that are struggling with it. It's not as rare as I thought because I came from a small town, a very small conservative town. And so it's not things that was public, back then. And so I feel that I can share my story now because I know so many other women who are struggling with it. So I am 28, almost 29 years old. Yes, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And what I know now is that it is not just a reproductive issue. It's more than that. Yes, I am in the time that I should think about having kids. My husband and I said that we were on the 5-year plan when we got married, and we're still on that plan. Right now, we are enjoying life, just the two of us. We feel that kids are a huge decision, and neither of us are ready for them. And I know other people say, oh, you'll never be ready. But we do have some control over that. So we're not looking to start a family right yet. We are getting settled here in our new city. We are trying to plant roots here. And, most importantly, I feel like I need to be physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually stable. And I have had a rocky couple of years with the death of my granny and moving around. And so it's been kind of hard for me. So I want to make sure that I know who I am, and I want to be able to provide a safe environment for my future child to grow in. And so that is why I have started my health and fitness journey. That's why I've been on it for so many years. And I am trying to make sure my hormones are level, because PCOS is all about hormone levels. It's not just about reproductive issues and having kids. It is about the imbalance of hormones in your body. And to be healthy, you have to have a healthy balance of hormones. And for me, it's getting my insulin in check. It's learning how to eat healthy and to fuel my body. Not just eat to eat, but to eat to fuel my body. I want to give it the healthiest things that I can. I want to be able to work out daily, or 6 days a week, really. And know that I am doing the best things that I can do for my future family, but at the same time for me right in this moment. So it is not just about having kids. And I'm here to tell you that I'm not interested in having kids right now. But I will say this. There are a lot of different treatment options. And for me personally, my mom and dad chose not for me to go on birth control when I was first diagnosed. Birth control pills help regulate your cycle so you know when you're going to have it, and that they can be regular. So I actually didn't go on birth control until I was 18 when I was going to college. I needed to know when I was going to have a period, because going to college is an important time of your life. And so that is when I decided, and together with my mom, we decided to go on birth control. And something that I have never shared publicly is that I went off birth control in January, not to have kids, but to see if I could regulate my cycle myself. And so January 12th, I went off the pill, and I will tell you that I feel so much better, because I was on the pill for 10 years, and the 10 years I was having a cycle because the pill told my body when to. And I feel so much better mentally. I tell people that I felt crazy when I was on birth control, and I feel stable mentally. I like to share that I would have an argument with my husband in my head all day, and he would come home from work and I'd be mad, and he has no idea because I had this argument in my head. That's kind of how it made me crazy. And so going off of that, it helped numerous things. It helped with the ability to have stable moods. And actually, before I went on the pill, my mom likes to call me an elevator. My moods were all over the place, but I feel that with nutrition and exercise, I have been able to help my moods even out. And there are some other things that I'm not going to go into detail that I feel so much better with being off the pill. Some of that stuff is private, and I'm not going to share that here. If you would like to know on a one-on-one basis, I'd be happy to tell you, unless you are my mother or my mother-in-law or my father or father-in-law, but my dad doesn't do Facebook. So, but there are some other issues that if you are wanting to know how it's helped going off of the pill, I'd be happy to share with you. And the other thing is, I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to regulate my cycle based on my nutrition and exercise. And it has taken me about 6 months, but I have had a regular period for the past 3 months, hopefully gonna make that a fourth. And I've never been so excited to have a period in my life, to be quite honest. That's the part that kind of stinks about being a girl, but you know, God made us great, and He made this part of us, and so it's just a fact of life. But I have had a cycle 3 months in a row, and before I was on the pill, I maybe went 2 months in a row with having a period, and then I would wait 4 or 5 months before I had one again. So I have been able to get off all medication, and you know, I have a plan right now for my future family that I pray and I hope that I can conceive naturally. That is my goal with trying to get myself healthy. So when that time comes, I truly hope that we will be able to do that. There's nothing wrong with if you need a little bit of help, that is totally fine. That's another option. And I'm gonna share some of the treatment options and the options that you can have for conceiving later on down the road. But it's my personal dream that I will not have to have fertility help when it comes to that time. But you know, we will see. We'll see what happens. But that is the whole goal with me, is getting healthy, making sure that my body is the healthiest it can be so that I can create a healthy environment for a future little kiddo to live in for 9 months. But that's where I'm at. That's what this journey has been about me. That is why I became a health and fitness coach, is because I truly believe that food is medicine, and I'm seeing that as evidence in my own life. And so I am excited to share that if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, there is hope. It is a hard journey. I'm not gonna lie, but when you have regular periods, it's so exciting. And I thought I would never say that in a million years, but it means that my body is working naturally the way that it's supposed to be. They may be, you know, anywhere from 20 days to 40-day cycles, but it's working, and that's what's exciting. So I just want to share that there is hope. And if you're struggling with it, I would love to be able to help you with your health and your fitness. So please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. That is what I do. I love being able to do that and help other women that have PCOS. Or if you don't have PCOS, I'd love to help you as well. So that's a little bit about my story. This next week, I'll be sharing a lot more information on PCOS. So I hope you will stay tuned. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.